Welcome to the Chamber Neighbors Podcast, a show highlighting Chapin's community and commerce. Now here's your hosts, Greater Chapin Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Paul Sadler, and Chapin Neighbors Magazine's Daniel Rendelman.
This is Daniel with the Chapin Neighbors Magazine.
And I'm Paul Sadler with the Greater Chapin Chamber of Commerce.
And Paul, tell our listeners, who are we speaking to today?
Well, Daniel, we've got a treat.
A treat?
A treat.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Today we've got Mr. James Burns, the president of the Eagle Club.
He flew in on an eagle.
He did.
He did. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Hello, James.
Hey, guys. How are y'all today? It's great to be here with you.
Great to have you, man. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Well, we are excited to have the conversation and hear all about you and about the organizations that you work with the Eagle Club. Why don't we start with just that? Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you will.
Yeah, so I'm James Burns, and my wife Jamie and I, we've lived here in Chapin for 14 years. We have 3 kids, 2 who graduated already from Chapin High, Molly and Carter. But Molly graduated from USC, Carter's at USC, and then my youngest, Griffin, is a senior, rising senior Chapin. So we're about to have empty nest syndrome kicking in at our house.
An empty eagle's nest.
Yes, yes.
I like
that. Unfortunately, the Eagle Club does not have a private jet or an eagle, but so anyway, I'm a partner at Nelson Mullins. I'm an attorney by trade.
Okay.
And so you can save all the attorney jokes. Maybe
we won't
one day you'll do a whole show on attorney jokes.
Yes.
We could do that. We might do a show on funeral director jokes as well. We had William
in.
We had William in. And
just a joke show.
We could do a joke show. I think that'd be
just
fun.
a joke show.
Yeah, about morticians and attorneys.
Right. I'm sure there's something there.
Yeah.
Surely.
So anyway, but we've been here 14 years. A little bit about me. We got here by way of when I left active duty in the Navy. We moved to Chapin. My wife had a lot of friends who, when I was in law school, she had a women's play group with the kids, and so we all matriculate to the same place, right? Because we're creatures of habit, and we all have FOMO, and so we didn't want to miss out on Chapin, so we moved to Chapin, and so I've spent, like I said, 14 years at Nelson Mullins, a firm I'm at, and I took 1 year off to go into state government and be Governor Haley's chief of staff, which was a lot of fun. And
that sounds like a hard job.
Yeah, it really wasn't fun.
No?
I just said that was a lot of fun. Yeah, Paul, that was hard.
I'm sure that was fun, but I'm sure that was really hard.
So, chief of staff for Governor Haley, and then just back to the attorney?
Back to the, that's it. Yeah, I'm in. I dip my toe in. It's like the hokey pokey, right?
Okay. But
Put your right foot in.
Did he turn his life around?
I don't know.
That's what it's all about.
Love it. So you spent a year with Governor Haley, and then what?
And then, so I went back to my firm. All during that time, I will tell you, I've been on the Eagle Club board. I was able to continue to do that, but when I got back to the firm, so I still, have a good relationship with Ambassador or Governor Haley, whichever title you want to use.
Yeah.
I mean, must be nice to have multiple titles.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm still the chair for C4, Stand for America, and I do some work with her campaign, so we still maintain a really good relationship.
Wow, how about that? We've got like a celebrity
a real celebrity.
Who knows potentially the next president of the United States.
Yeah.
Wow, how about that?
Chapin is the center of the universe.
Chapin is the center of the political universe, it sounds like.
Well, every Republican, the last Republican presidents that have been elected, George Bush, I think this may have been predated former President Trump, but all of the other ones, President Bush, 41 and 43, all came to the Chapin Labor Day Parade, I believe.
Is that
I believe that is
I
think I'm right on that piece of trivia.
Are we hearing breaking news here? Is there anybody going to be here for the Labor Day Parade?
It would be great.
I think if you want to be elected President of the United States, you got to come to Chapin for the Labor Day Parade.
I remember,
I've got a float in the Labor Day Parade, but I'm not running for president.
Well, I remember as a kid, I was at the Labor Day festival, and I got lost. And I'm just kind of like looking around, and I turn around, and there's this gentleman, and I'm like, sir, I'm just kind of looking around and he looks at me and he kind of looked lost. And I said, sir, do you know where, the restrooms are or something like that? And he pretty much said he didn't know where he was. And I found out it was Strom Thurmond. So I got to meet him and talk with him for a few minutes. And,
interesting fact about Senator Thurmond. I interned for Senator Thurmond when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
Great experience.
How cool is that?
Great experience, yeah. I mean, you want to talk about like a lot of history.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. He'd seen a lot.
There's a lot with
absolutely. Well, what is the Eagle Club, though? You've been working with that.
So the Chapin Eagle Club is the all sports booster club that supports all of Chapin high school athletics.
So this isn't just a football booster club. This is track, cross country, lacrosse, soccer,
golf, basketball,
everything.
Wrestling.
Yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah.
I think there's like
52
sports at Chapin. Did you know that?
I
52
did not.
girls and boys sports at Chapin High School.
It's pretty amazing.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so we were organized as a C3, a 501c3, about 1981. And so there was a booster club before that, right? But it really hadn't organized as a C3. So now we're a 501c3. We support all the sports. And I will tell you, we've got our board is phenomenal. I'll tell you over the last 8 years, we've raised over $3 million, and all of that money has gone back into Chapin athletics.
He said
$3 million.
Holy cow! All right, well then, how do you raise that much? Like, what does the Eagle Club do then to raise that money? Full disclosure: Paul Sadler, your host, is an Eagle Club board member.
Yes.
Okay.
Daniel, I co-opted him. I got him.
So, Paul, you don't know how you raise money?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Well, we're interviewing James,
For
not
our
me.
listeners here, how do you raise the money? And then I want to know what does it do? How is it given out? So how do you raise it?
Yeah, so there are a number of ways we raise it. First, let me say this. We've got a phenomenal board. We have 16 people on our board. And I would be remiss, and I really hope y'all will indulge me and let me just say who those folks are, because they're phenomenal people. My good friend Tim Slice, who is he served on the board a year longer than me. So Tim Slice, Rusty Todd, Chris Watson, Jared Dawsey, Mac Estridge. Those are our former presidents who are still on the board.
Okay.
And then we have a number of other members. Crystal Galloway, Chris Tisdale, Joe Barkovich, Reggie Salazar, Clay Cannon, Paul Sadler, Aaron Haggard, Jeff Rogers, who am I?
Kristen
Lominack, and Dave Martin. I think we got everybody.
Did we say Chris Watson?
I did get Chris Watson, yeah. He's
It's a big board.
It's a big board.
But so what we do is probably the biggest drivers of how we raise money are our sponsorships, right, with our scoreboard and with our banner sponsors. And those are our corporate partners like Stokes Trainer, Chapin Dental, Great Southern Homes, a number of different sponsors we have. Palmetto Bone and Joint, I'm looking at them right across the street. Mm-hmm. But that's our biggest driver. And then our membership drive, right? So when we sell memberships, those memberships, you get access to what's called an all sports pass. So you get to come to every sporting event for free with your card.
I tell you, that is the number one thing. It's so worth it to have that card. And that's not me speaking as an Eagle Club board. That's speaking as a family man. Like, we have those passes. We can get into any of the games for free. Ethan playing lacrosse last year, we didn't have to pay for a single home game. Like, boom, show your card, got in for free. Well worth it. And if you are interested in this, shameless plug for Chapin Eagle Club, chapinsports.com. You can get the membership right there. And we'll hand deliver. I will hand deliver your package.
Chapinsports.com.
Chapinsports.com. So the other thing we do is we have a couple of events too. We have coming up actually it's going to be on August 26th. Mm-hmm. We have our auction and banquet. It's silent auction and live auction. Ton of fun. Mm-hmm. It is a lot of fun. And we auction off all kinds of stuff. And it's like a lot of good stuff. Our sponsors, our parents are so good. They donate all of these things. And then we also have a barbecue in the spring. and our barbecue is largely driven to support our scholarship fund. Over the last 2 years, each year we've given out $10,000 in scholarships to student athletes. So, look, we're blessed. We have a great community. We have great corporate partners, and it's all largely encased in Chapin. I mean, and we tell our members, we want to drive them to go to our sponsors. You need something with your pet. Go see Ginger Klein, okay? Go see her. If you, have an issue, orthodontic issue, go see O'Leary. Brian O'Leary's one of our partners. It's the
same way we operate here at the chamber,
That's
right? We want our community, our partners, to use each other. So just like with the Eagle Club, we're pushing them, our folks to use them. That's what we do here at the chamber as well. And, works out really well, right?
And I think one of the things that's really cool about Chapin, because it still is a small town, but it's as we've grown, is on sports nights. You especially see it during the fall season with football, but we also see it in the spring season with soccer, lacrosse, baseball. Is to see the community come out and support the kids. I mean, we've got a great administration. We've Mr. Davis, Ed Davis, our principal, is phenomenal. And his administrative team, Coach Gentry, who I love, our football coach, is a great partner. And Coach,
so where does the money go? So the money's raised.
So all of the money goes, and I should have. So we buy all of the uniforms for our student athletes.
All of them.
Every one of them. We buy any kind of training equipment they need. I will tell you, we've got to have the best pole vaulting. We've got more pole vaulting poles. I learned about pole vaulting poles about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got this amazing. We bought I think we bought $80,000 worth of pole vaulting poles 1 year.
Wow.
But also, to support our student athletes through other endeavors like the Chapin Athletic Leadership Institute, which was started by Coach Ryan Cole and Coach Gentry. We buy all the books for that program, so that our kids, we've got over 90 kids that come on Thursday mornings at 7:00 and learning about leadership.
70 kids.
No,
90 kids at 7:00.
Yay.
That's early for
That's
some of those
early.
kids. But that shows the commitment, right, to athletics and to leadership. And we all know that through athletics, you gain that leadership potential and skills.
Yeah, and there are other things that you don't see that we've done, whether it be and if you look at the baseball and softball field, the windscreen out there, we do things like that. Pitching machines. Oh man, we've got quite the collection of pitching machines.
So how do the teams get these funds? They just come and say, "Hey James, I've got a need for this," and you're like, "Yep, I got you." How does that work?
So we're big believers in it's an equal playing field for everybody. So the girls golf team should be treated the same way as the football team or the basketball
That's
team.
Really good. That's good to hear.
So they make a request through Coach Wessinger, the athletic director. And then he determines if it's within his budget to be able to get some of these things, because he also has a budget. Sure. If he can't, if it's not within his budget, he brings it to our board and we vote on it. I will tell you that since I've been on the board, we've never said no. We may have said, hey, can we wait for a couple of months to let some things equal out, but we have never said no. And I think that's one of the great things. I will also say probably the most important thing we do, and if we never buy another uniform, if we never buy another piece of training equipment, if we ever have a student athlete in need that because of circumstances outside of their control, the Eagle Club will step up and take care of making sure that student athlete is outfitted with what they need, prepared, have what they need. That's the most important thing to us.
Absolutely. Well, that gives me the warm fuzzies knowing that
for sure.
Our Eagle Club takes care of our student athletes, whether it's through providing shoes or providing uniform or great pole vaulting equipment.
Pole vaulting.
How
or a timing system. You don't think about a timing system for track or swimming.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wasn't aware of like all of the.
Well, and it sets these students up for scholarships, for their future, for learning leadership. So many great benefits of that. What's going on at the football stadium, though, high school?
I see some.
I mean, listen. Let me tell you, for 13 years, that has become I'll admit, a personal project of mine. There are many years where I felt like a lonely pilgrim in an unholy land of bureaucracy. But we're grateful that our school board and our district administration under Dr. Ross's leadership saw that we had a need. We were still in basically a 2A stadium, but we're a 5A school now. But it would, because of the size of our seating capacity, we couldn't host home playoff games, state playoff games.
That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
Because that's a great economic driver for the community.
For Chapin.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so largely the biggest part you see is our increase in seats, where we'll be up and we'll meet the South Carolina High School League requirement for having seats to host home playoff games. The other thing you see, probably the most pronounced thing, is the press box that you'll see, which again, it's concession. Keep in mind, our stadium hadn't really been touched since 1976.
Wow, that's a long time.
I was 2.
Yeah,
I was -6.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, we're all
even a thought.
Yeah.
we're all aging ourselves.
We're not even a thought.
So I think you'll see. So the operate will have another, like a multi-purpose room there that the community will have access to, which is going to be great. It's actually,
I'm excited for that space.
Yeah, it's and then the operations level for not just our announcers but our students. I hope we can talk about at some point. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but CSPN.
Oh yeah.
But
what a great
and maybe
program
I'll cover that when we get to the operations level. But look, we've got a great architect in Jumper Carter Cease, Todd Cease at Jumper Carter Cease. The builder is Josh Edwards with EdCon, which is, Josh graduated from Chapin High School. So there's a lot of pride there, I think, with Josh. Who I forgot to mention on our board was Clay Cannon.
Clay Cannon.
I forgot about Clay.
You are if you're listening,
we got him all.
You're an integral part of the board.
Yeah,
I promise.
Clay, big deal. Big deal. Clay's a big deal.
Yes.
But anyway, so and like we've been able to work with our partner, with Todd's team and Josh's team, like Crystal Galloway, who's on our board, who is a designer, worked with the design team on the interior space, so that it's not just, hey, we're just putting up another building, but it's putting up a building where we can have a sense of pride, where it's nice. And so I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm very excited about that. I mean, I'm hopeful that as we get into January, we'll probably start seeing it getting completed. But we've, like I said, under Dr. Ross's leadership and his team, I'm really encouraged by the work that's happening.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And I heard it is going to be the tallest building in the town of Chapin.
Oh,
we had to get a zoning variance.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I remember talking to Mayor Al Kuhn. I got a call. Mayor Al Kuhn, who's a good friend. His son Chris is one of my law school classmates. But Mayor Kuhn and Miss Nicole Burrows, who I just adore, both of them, worked with the town zoning board of appeals and the district. But we had to get a zoning variance because we're the tallest building.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Old Chapin High School press box, the tallest building.
And this is going to be fully functional soon?
I think, look, Josh would tell me, look, don't make any, and I can't promise, but I push, Paul will tell you, I'm very forward leaning.
Yes.
So I'm hopeful by spring sports we'll be good. We'll be and we're in the stadium now. I mean, they just had football practice out there this morning at 7 a.m. So and we just had the turf replaced too.
Oh man!
I don't know if have you seen the new turf?
Wow.
It's
I've seen
beautiful.
Pictures. I've seen
it's
pictures.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. That was already programmed some years ago by the district, but Dutch Fork and Irmo got theirs done last year, and we got ours done this year.
Turf.
Beautiful turf. So you mentioned CSPN.
What
Sounds
is
an awful
that?
lot like ESPN.
What is CSPN?
Yes, the Chapin Sports Network, right? Or the Chapin Student Press Network.
Yes.
I mean, depending on how you want to, which one you want to go with.
Either one.
But let me tell you, this program is phenomenal. Okay, Jared Dawsey, Reggie Salazar, and Joe Barkovich, who are all on our board,
I'm surprised you're not calling him Joe Barkovich.
2. Yes, he's Joe Barkovich 2 on our group me.
Okay.
Yes. So we all of our students they participate in live streaming our games, creating the content that goes on our scoreboard, creating content that goes on our website.
Students that are doing this.
Students.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And I mean, watching them work, we've been very blessed. We have a volunteer named Mark Slice, who Mark used to be with ETV and then works with the SEC network. And Mark helped to design that operations level space so that we'll have a live production room for the students and also a pre and post production for the scoreboard and for the website.
This isn't for college. This is for
this is for Chapin High School
sports.
right next door.
And it's really an educational program, guys. I mean, one of the graduates of Chapin who really was at the start of CSPN now helps to run the scoreboard at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Yeah, real deal.
How crazy is that?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's great to see. There are some students who may not play sports, but this gives them the opportunity to be part of something, to be part of the sports experience. My son Carter was very involved with it, and so it is really. I mean, I'm really proud of what those kids have done and what they achieve.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job. And our website, chapinsports.com, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the third most viewed high school sports website in
South Carolina. We're in the top 20 in the country.
Yes.
And we're in the top 3 in South Carolina.
Chapinsports.com.
So what does the future look like for Chapin Sports, the Eagle Club?
So I think the future is bright. I mean, I think we are on a great glide slope. I'm really excited about the coaches that we have here. I feel like they're invested in our kids. I feel like our community is invested in our kids. I think the Eagle Club, my expectation is that I'm hopeful this year, but within the next couple of years, we'll really become probably a $500,000 enterprise. Because I really think what you're seeing, where you're seeing college sports move getting closer to what pro sports are, high school sports are becoming what college sports were. And so I think we will continue to see that grow. And again, we couldn't do it without our partners, our members, our corporate partners, our administration, and our board. I mean, I will tell you, Paul can tell you, it is work.
It is.
It is a lot.
It is. That was the first thing that they told me when I was being recruited, that it is going to be work. This is the most work you'll ever do on a board, and it is the truth. But man, how rewarding is it?
It is.
It's amazing to see the work that we do affect the student athletes next door. It's amazing.
I will tell you, last year, probably the most exciting thing that I saw happen last year for me was Coach Raven Thomas, who's our girls lacrosse coach, and some of the other teachers in our resource department at the high school. We started a unified Special Olympics team. And the Eagle Club, we paid for their uniforms, but seeing every child there being no impediment to a child participating in athletics, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Inclusion.
And I really love that, and I love, the Eagle Club's partnered with the Screaming Eagles, who I'm sure y'all are familiar with the Screaming Eagles. We love those kids. Yes. Again, there should be no barrier to people participating in athletics.
Right. And y'all are doing a great job with the Eagle Club. I mean, you are doing a great job to not have those barriers. Any student can play. Doesn't matter what level or where you're at. The Eagle Club is there. We usually end this, James, with saying, how do our listeners learn more about the Eagle Club? I think we've already plugged chapinsports.com.
Is it chapinsports.com?
I think so.
Have you heard of that website, Daniel?
At least 7 times, but How can they join? How can they
learn
more?
So, the thing that I encourage people to do is become a member, right? To get that all sports pass, it is such good value. We'll be set up before home football games. We were set up this weekend at orientation. Last week we were at the middle school and the high school. Our membership chairs, Chris Watson and Kristen Lominack, have done a phenomenal job of outreach. And so you can go online and order a membership.
What's that website?
www.chapinsports.com.
Hey.
And then you can always reach out, on our website, all of our board members' contact information is there. You email me, you call me, I'll talk about Chapin athletics all day long.
All day long. Well, man, we appreciate you. Thanks
so much
for coming on. Thanks for sharing your insight, your passion, talking about the Eagle Club. Man, it is exciting times for Chapin sports.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
I think we're going to get some more of it, man.
Let's do it. Everybody check out chapinsports.com.
This has been the Chapin Neighbors Podcast, where we highlight all that makes our community special. We hope you enjoyed our time together. Please like, subscribe, and share the Chapin Chamber Neighbors Podcast.